Hello, everybody. Agree to disagree. Back on your airways, television, tablets, cell phones, whatever else you are watching us on. You know the spiel. You know the spiel. We got a great show planned for you today. I'm one of your hosts, Trey. This is my father. Go ahead, Dad.
Hi. That's all I got. Hi.
Today we got a special episode for you guys, a nice little college edition of Agree to Disagree since the Natties are coming up. We're going to talk about the men's side, the women's side, and of course we have to talk about LeBron and on Pat McAfee. And then we got a little bonus for y'all at the end. So without further ado, you ready, Dad?
I'm ready.
All right, starting off with the men's in college, we have a Final Four that's finally worth talking about as there are 4 number 1 seeds in the dance for the first time since 2008, and only the second time in history. Auburn versus Florida and Duke versus Houston tip off Saturday evening, and we viewers will have the inevitable number 1 seed showdown. So, Dad, I'm going to ask you, between the 4 finalists, who you got winning the Natty?
Florida. Yes, I do. I have Florida winning.
Oh, okay. Talk to me. Why Florida?
Florida is an excellent three-point shooting team. Their
They are.
defense is number 1 in the country.
They are.
Okay. The comeback that they had the other night again.
I was just watching it. What, Texas Tech?
Texas Tech, yes.
Yep.
And 10 points down. I think
They were
it was
down 10 with like 6 minutes.
Yeah, just blew, and it just didn't come back. The game wound up being a blowout.
Yeah, they blew them out.
They blew them out, okay? They blew them out in that short period of time. They went from being down 10 to actually blowing out Texas Tech. And I think Texas Tech was like a number 2 seed at that time.
They were 3.
They were 3. Okay.
Yeah, they were
top
3.
5. Okay.
No, top 5, yeah, 3. 3 still valid.
Yeah, still valid, right. But I think the rust is off with them now. I think they got the confidence to do it. Everybody's talking about Duke and Cooper Flag. And that other kid, I can't pronounce his name.
Canepo.
Yes, thank you. They do have a good team and they have some excellent guards. I just think Florida's hungry, and again, that defense, man. That
defense is good.
Yeah, that's what I got winning.
That defense has to be good. You saw what they did
to
Texas Tech.
Yeah,
like you said, I was just watching some of the highlights, trying to re-jog my memory from the game. That was a crazy game. I think Texas Tech just came out hot because they were hitting the 3 like crazy, right? But then, Florida just walked them down. But even still, like you said, 10-point game with 6 minutes or like 6 minutes, something like that, to turn into a blowout is really good. I like their pressure. They just ramped up the defense, man. There's turnovers left and right.
Left and right.
Watching like, golly.
And they dropped 3 straight threes to cut it.
and it blew it wide open. Now, the first one, the tap out, let's see, what was that? I can't remember the guard's name, but the tap out, he was running, or they were about to converge. He taps it out, dunk. Wide open game. Wide open from there. Here comes the momentum. And they just walked them down from there. But with my choice, you were talking about, you know who I'm going to pick.
I already know.
Baby.
Yeah.
I got to. I can't help it, man. Duke is, that's a nice jacket. Duke is really, really good. Usually Duke, all right, I'm going to say it. Usually Duke is ran by a bunch of really good freshmen, back in the one and done days. Their best player is a freshman, yes, in Cooper Flag, and I am impressed by Cooper Flag. I was a Cooper Flag naysayer when he was in high school, but watching him throughout college, I'm like, yeah, he got it. He's definitely he's got it. Cooper Flag, Canepo, and I think one of them other guards that play.
That young kid.
I'm gonna find him. Hold on. I'm gonna find him. Where you at? Because I want to make sure I get his name right. Statistics. Proctor,
that's him.
Proctor, yeah, and Proctor.
Yeah.
And then they got the center. He could go to they got 3 NBA players in that starting lineup.
What's his name? The African dude.
Yeah. Malak, I think is how you say it. Something like that. Malak, I think that's how you say it. Maluch, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Him. They got 3 solid NBA players on their team. And you know what I say about college. College is ran by star power. That's just basketball. And then on top of that, they have the horses to run with them. And this ain't old college basketball where we're seeing a lot of these older players take over because they've been together for a minute. There's not a lot of chemistry with NIL nowadays. People
Okay.
just coming and going. So you got three solid NBA players. You got a good surrounding by them. They play defense.
They
Okay.
do. Oh yeah, they play. They do.
They play
Yeah.
defense. Cooper Flag
Yeah.
plays defense out there.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
gonna attach myself to the bandwagon.
Florida shoots the three better than they do.
They do. No, they do for sure. Because off the top of my head, I think Duke only has one deadly consistent 3-point shooter, and that's Kanipo.
That's good enough, but yeah.
That's good.
Or probably
Everybody else is streaky.
one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else is streaky. Duke's
Flag
the
is
only
streaky.
knockdown.
Yeah.
So if they go cold, I can see that definitely being a problem. But like I said, they play defense.
So they'll match up in the finals if they both win.
You said Florida?
Florida and Duke. They're not playing each other on
No, they are not. Florida plays Auburn
right.
and Duke plays Houston.
Right.
Houston,
so
right?
if they both win, we'll have this
They will.
conversation.
Yes, we
Yes, we
will.
will.
I
Yes, we
can't
will.
wait. You know, I'm gonna bring on my.
It'll definitely be I told you so. I told you so.
I know. I told you so. You're not
I
making it
told
past the
you
first round.
so. I
Auburn
told
gonna beat y'all. Watch out
you.
for Auburn now. I like that Broom
Auburn
kid.
is boring. They don't have any three-point shooters either.
No, they don't. I like
They
they
got
got.
bigs though.
I like that big man.
They
No,
got bigs.
what's his
Yeah.
name? Jahad Broom is his last
Boom,
name
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. You're like
But I
25.
like him. You said what?
What are you like 25 years old? Something like that. Shout out to
I
Broom.
think no. To be fair, I'm gonna give him a break. He's a fifth year senior, but his first year was COVID.
Okay. Oh
Yeah, his
wow.
first year
That long,
was
huh?
COVID. That was his first year. It was 2020. It was the COVID season. So I'll give him a break because I saw that too. And so I did some research. I did some digging. But nah, his first season was the COVID season. So
Okay.
I give him a little break. I like him though. He had that little that fall in last game against
Yes, he
Michigan
did.
State
He came
where
back in.
he did come back in. He hit a three.
Yeah. Yeah, he came back in.
But you know how that's adrenaline pumping. Like Isaiah Thomas, you old school. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, no,
He twisted his ankle.
yes,
Yeah.
when he twisted his ankle,
And
came
limping
back,
with that three-pointer.
limping, but that
Yeah.
thing swelled up like a grapefruit the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Dropped that three in the corner though.
Yes, he did. He did.
The Lakers, yeah.
It's funny. They lost the series, and that's one of the most talked about
That's
moments
most
in the
notable,
series
yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
you know how it goes after, once you sit down for a minute. They ain't playing almost, let's see, they play on Saturday. So by then it'll have been almost a week, if not
Almost
a
a week,
week.
yeah. It was last Saturday.
Last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Yeah.
had some time to heal. I like Auburn against Florida, honestly.
It depends on the tempo of the game.
I would agree.
If they're running up and down, it's Florida all the way. Auburn cannot keep up with them up and down the floor.
No, they can't. That's
They
fair.
can't. Right. It depends on the tempo. If the tempo is slow, Auburn will probably win, but I'm saying it's going to be fast. I think Florida's going to control the tempo and they'll win the game and play Duke and win against Duke. And I'll be sitting here next week going, told you so.
We about to have a nice little Cinderella Cooper Flag story. Let me tell you.
Okay.
And it happened just in time because Melo just got inducted first ballot Hall of Fame. We're gonna have a nice little reincarnation for you.
What does Melo got to do with Duke?
Because what did Melo do in Syracuse?
Oh,
as a freshman?
A freshman winning a championship.
Won a championship, led the championship.
Yeah,
led the championship. And so now Cooper Flag about to do it again.
I doubt it, but okay.
And he's supposed to be a senior in high school.
Is he really?
He reclassified. I just found that out. He's supposed to be a senior in high school.
Oh, snap. Okay. He's definitely going hardship next year, though.
For sure. Beating grown men out there.
Was one of the Boozer brothers going in next year?
One of the I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah. It's going to Duke next year.
Yeah, well, yeah, Cooper gone next year. He a number one pick, so
yeah.
So that I ain't got nothing.
He's gonna wind up in San Antonio with us.
You think San Antonio will get the number one pick?
I think San Antonio get the number one pick.
We'll talk about that later. Moving on. Staying in college, but headed to the women's side. Paige Beckers and her Huskies look to head to their first championship since 2022 against UCLA and Texas. Oh, I can't read. Although gritty on defense, have a tall mountain to climb as they face Dawn Staley and her defending champ, South Carolina. Yeah.
South
So
Carolina.
let me ask you this: starting with the UCLA UConn game, who you got?
Well, first of all, shout out to Juju. That was messed up that she twisted her ankle. I'm sorry, tore her
I was to
ACL.
say that twisted her ankle, that tore her ACL.
ACL, yes, and she's out for until next
Yeah,
season.
tell me about it, man. She might
Yeah,
be out the whole WNBA
yeah.
season. You know,
I
she
agree.
drafted.
I don't think she would. I don't think she would have got winning anyway. Is she a senior?
No, she only a sophomore.
Yeah, I don't think she would go to. You make more money in college.
Yeah, to be fair, you making more money in
Yeah,
college. You
way
seen that
more.
girl
Right.
who came back for her final year of college? I don't know if you saw it. One girl in Notre Dame, I think, came back for her final year of college. She gonna transfer instead of go to the WNBA, and she was the projected number 2 pick after Paige
Yeah,
Becker.
she'll make more money in
She'll make more
NIL.
money in college.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but to answer your question, Dawn Staley,
You got
South
Don
Carolina.
Staley.
Yeah, I got South Carolina, man.
Yeah, South
Coaching.
Carolina taking it.
Yeah, I do. I do.
I'm glad we disagree today. Today's a good day. Today is a good day. We got two disagrees for you
Yes,
guys
we do. Yes, we do.
because you know, state you pick South Carolina. I do think they'll beat UT. Uh,
Okay.
I don't know if Tennessee's offense is gonna score much. Not much. I don't mean to say it like that, but um they're not built on scoring. They're built on defense. That defense
Defense.
is crazy. But at the end of the day, if you got two good defenses against each other, the better offense is going to win, right?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically, yes. So
But
I would
maybe not in
have,
women's basketball.
I would say in women's basketball,
I think women's basketball is different from men's basketball in the sense that defense could actually win you a title in women's basketball.
it could.
Yeah, it really could. And timely shots and tempo really can get you a win in women's basketball as opposed to men's basketball. And I'm not being sexist. That's just the way I feel about
No, I get you. I think I watch a lot of women's basketball. I think we watch enough women's basketball to know defense is really, really big in women's basketball because of just how do I say this without sounding bad? The lack of athleticism, I guess.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you got 5'4" girls going up against 6'4" girls and they can't jump that high, just put your
Who's
damn
gonna
arms
win?
up.
Yeah, who's gonna win?
Hey, just put your damn arms up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got South Carolina. I think the experience of the coach carries a lot of weight in this case. I think they'll be ready. They won last year.
they did.
The 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 desire to repeat is there for them. So that's why I got South Carolina.
Give me UConn, baby.
I didn't know you was gonna say that. You were so like loyal to the same schools. UConn, Duke,
I'm not even
the
a UConn
Boston
fan like
Celtics.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, the
not even a
Boston.
UConn basketball fan like that.
No,
Nah, I just like Paige
okay,
Beckers.
okay, all
Just
right.
like last year, I was hell bent on Iowa winning the championship because
And they
I
did,
like Caitlin Clark.
and they did.
Nah, give me UConn. Nah, give me UConn 110%. I like
Okay,
Paige Becker. She's on a heater right now, man.
hair.
Tear,
Okay,
heater, tear, cooking. Okay.
okay, okay.
Averaging 20 a game, that's for the season, right? But her last 3 games, she's giving you 34, 40, and 31. Okay.
Damn,
Yeah, she's cooking. All right.
damn.
That 40-point game, if I'm not mistaken, her team scored 82 points. So she
And she
had
scored half of
almost
them,
half
almost
of
half
her
of them.
team's points. The
Wow,
girl can play.
wow.
Anybody who watches women's basketball knows if she didn't get hurt last year, we wouldn't be talking about Caitlin Clark the same way we talk about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a benefit of, she's really good. Don't get me wrong. I love Caitlin
Yeah,
Clark.
I was
She's
about
a
to say, Katie
benefit
Clark,
of
yeah,
timing, though, because Paige Beckers was hurt with that ACL tear last year.
that's life, though.
Yeah, for sure. We just didn't talk
Yeah.
about her, but I'm saying that to say the girl is nice. I
Okay,
think Caitlin Clark is nice. Paige Beckers is better.
okay,
I
okay.
think, and you know what and like we were saying about the men's conversation, star power carries in basketball,
Yes, it
and
does.
she has the team to back her up.
Okay,
Okay, see now when Iowa played SC, I think it was last year. Last year, yeah, Caitlin Clark, I think she started hot, man. She had about 10 or 12 in the first quarter. But once you start to wear her down and you don't have necessarily the horses to run with you, then you start to run into a problem, right? Because then you just get the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand and nobody else is going to beat
Go
you.
with that.
If you get the ball out of Paige's hand, they got girls that can beat you. I can't remember the center's name for Christ's sakes off the top of my head. I think I wrote it down. Oh, Sarah Strong. Yeah, Sarah Strong. She
Okay.
she can cook. Nice big body, good hands, good defender. I think she's averaging a good little 2 blocks a game. And like we were talking about, defense can win championships. They got the wolf. She's got the wolves with her. That's to me. I think that'll be what's the word I'm looking for? The final UC or SC and UConn.
Uh-huh.
So we will definitely revisit this conversation again, just like we revisit the
It's gonna be two
men's.
W's for me, baby.
It's crazy. I kind of hope we both get these right. This will be a fun next episode. If
You're damn,
so,
you damn right.
that shit would be crazy.
You're damn right.
All right. Moving on to something that's at least NBA related. LeBron James was on the Pat McAfee show this past week, and boy, did sparks fly. From addressing the Stephen A. Smith dust up to being starry-eyed over his own son, to attacking old heads and even Brian Windhorst, LeBron made his thoughts clear on it all. We have to talk about it, of course, even though it happened a week ago, and Dad's been fiending to talk about this one.
Oh,
So
like
we're gonna start
like a
with
drug
you.
addict, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Okay.
start with you. You go ahead. What are your thoughts on that,
My
Dad?
thoughts is LeBron is planning his exit from the NBA.
I
This is
agree.
so uncharacteristic of him to even go
110%.
to do this. All right. But it's like he took this great big media shit. Okay. That's what it was. It was like he took a media X-lax and it's all coming out. Everything he ever had to say about the media, this was it. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
the Stephen A thing, they said it was calculated because he knew where the camera was and he stood exactly where the camera was so that they could see it and record it and it could be a topic. The Bronny thing, tired of talking about that, but just because the dude scored, what was it, 32 in
39.
39 in the G League game, big deal. You should. Um, and again, I mean, it's not like the team
Good.
is that good anyway. They trash. And they probably fed him. I just think with him, everything is calculated. Everybody says the same thing about LeBron. Everything he does is calculated. Everything he does has a purpose. And I just think this is his way of saying, you know what? I got one more year. I'm out. I'm out.
Based on your thoughts, I don't disagree with much. LeBron, I do think is calculated. I do think this was very uncharacteristic. I was watching the highlights of not highlights. I was watching some of the old clips from the Pat McAfee show, and I'm thinking to myself, like, LeBron doesn't normally do this.
No, he
Oh,
doesn't.
and I just left it at that.
No,
I
he
didn't think
does
anything
not.
past it, but it definitely crossed my mind. Like LeBron doesn't normally do this, so I wonder. But no, I agree with most
Here's
of
the
what
here's
you
the part. Here's the part that I think in his case was a punk move.
what you got.
Okay, because I don't like LeBron anyway.
No, you
And
don't.
I'm not even gonna sit here and tell you I do.
No, you
Um,
don't.
no, I don't. The punk move was bringing Windhorse into
That's
it.
the one I hated. Oh my
That was the
gosh.
punk move.
Go
That was the
ahead. Keep
punk
going.
move. You did not have to do that to that man. This man has been covering you since you were 18 years old.
And he
Okay.
has said
At any
nothing but
time in the
nice and
22 years,
glowing things about you.
thank you. In the 22 years that this man has been covering you, revering you, and whatever else that he did for you, you never said a word. I was under the impression that y'all was friends.
At least not close, not like close
Maybe
friends, but
not
at least
close,
like
but y'all had some type of
yeah, some
relationship.
type of relationship.
Thank
Yeah,
you. A cordial relationship, whatever you want to call it.
for
I was under
sure.
the impression. And again, I'm not even a fan. But the minute he started talking in a negative way about you and your son and the decision that you made, all of a sudden, I don't know this guy. I don't know why people think he's my friend. That's a bitch move to me.
I didn't like the Wendy attack personally, but well, I guess it's with LeBron. He's so yeah, no, calculated is the perfect word. There's
Word is
no
calculated.
way. There's no way you didn't anticipate this, right? You can't tell me Stephen A. Smith went on a press run about this, right? Yet here you are on Pat McAfee on ESPN to come shit on Stephen A. Smith on his own network. what did like
But it was funny
uh,
though.
it is hilarious. Don't get me wrong. It's great content. I found it so funny. Just I guess
because
the thing that always
because
drove
it
me
was
crazy.
out of context on his part. The fact that he said he's probably sitting at home in his tidy whities, I fell off the couch with that shit. All right, because again, you don't expect him to say that. He's
At
never
all
been
with the
he's
ice
never been
cream, feet up.
a right. He's never been a public figure that came out like that.
Not that he sounds
Right.
like
That's
Anthony
why
Edwards right now.
Right. That's why I just think, he's on his swan, his last dance, his last, you know what? I'm gonna get all this out right now because this is how I've been feeling for the last 19 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Ever since you people buried me and crucified me for going to join the Miami Heat,
yeah.
and I didn't say anything. And then I left there and I went to Cleveland and I didn't say anything. And you crucified me again for leaving Cleveland to go to LA. I didn't say anything. I hoodwinked the Lakers into drafting my son. I didn't say anything. But you know what? Today's a day of reckoning. I'm letting it
Today's
all
the
out.
day.
I'm letting it all out. And I'm sure after he finished that, he's like everybody else, after they did a good old number two, he said, oof.
Oof, I
Woo!
feel good.
Oh, man. Thank you, Pat.
Came out and hit the game winner the same night
Yeah. Yeah. And blue
against
lights
Indiana.
all over the Pat McAfee show. Because like I said, that's what we do.
I didn't look. I don't hate it personally. I don't hate LeBron at all. I just I like to think of myself as neutral. Um, I'm focused mostly on his basketball stuff, unless he drags himself into conversations like he did now. Um, I don't ever have a problem with the Bronny thing because, like we have said as fathers, we would totally do the same thing. Hell, I look forward to playing basketball with my son now, and that's just pickup basketball. Imagine playing in a damn NBA game with him. Um, I didn't like the Wendy thing because, like we said, he has always, for the most part, been one of your biggest supporters,
Right.
like biggest defenders. So to like come out of left field, I guess based on some of the comments of you and your son's relationship, to come out of left field and just he's not
Attack
even
him.
my friend. It's just like,
Right.
bro, what was the point of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, and then I don't remember the old head things he was talking about with the old heads talking about
Giannis could
Giannis was
score
scoring
250 points.
250 points. You know,
Yeah. I'm
real
gonna tell you
quick
why that's not true.
real quick side question on that. I'm glad you brought that up. With let me see. I'm trying to think of the names. Bill Walton was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Uh is Bill Russell 60s or 70s?
60s.
60s?
60s, yeah.
Okay, so he's 60s. I'm trying to think. Give me some
Game
more
was
names
60.
in the 70s because they got some.
Kareem was in the 70s.
Kareem is the 70s, and that's when
Yeah.
he was Lou Alcindor.
Yes. Yes. Artist Gilmore.
Artist Gilmore. Hell,
Um,
Ralph Sampson.
Rap Sampson was 80s.
That's 80s.
Olajuwon was 80s. Yes.
Damn, I
My,
skip a whole era in my mind.
my thing, what he was saying about Giannis scoring 250 points. Okay, this is where I disagree, and this is going to put the whole old heads, new heads debate to bed, in my opinion.
Oh, this should be
Okay.
fun.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Giannis in the 70s would not have been Giannis the 90s Giannis because he would
Not
not
at
have had
all.
a model. Thank you. He would not have had a model. He would have been back to the basket because he would have been 6'9". He'd have been playing either the power forward or maybe even the center at that
Yep,
stage, right? Not to mention the rules were different back then. You couldn't dunk at some point in college, okay?
no, you could
So,
not.
right, you couldn't dunk. Remember, that's why Lou Alcindor developed the hook shot because he could not dunk. Okay.
That is
So I
correct.
say that to say I'm not taking anything away from the players today. God bless them. They are amazing athletes. Okay. But that's what it is. Their model is based on past players. Magic Johnson was the first 6'9" player that you ever seen to dribble a basketball and be a point guard. Before
Yep,
that, the average size of a point guard was
was like
6
six
4.
feet. Yeah,
Right. That's it. It was the littlest guy on your team was the point guard. The biggest guy on your team was the center. That's just how it was. That's how it was set up.
yep.
So to say Giannis would score 250 points, no, he wouldn't. First
No,
of
it would
all,
not.
beat the shit out of him.
Yes, they would.
Thank you. Thank you. His little skinny behind would not have made it. Let me tell you something. The only player in today's modern era that could compete in the 80s and the 70s is LeBron. because of his body size and
His
his
body.
and his IQ. The rest of these guys, no, no, I'm sorry, no.
No, no, I would have to agree. Could you imagine? Let's just base off of that. Throw some names. Can you imagine if Kyrie Irving was in the 70s?
He might make it, but then
They wouldn't let him do all that damn dribbling.
we had a Kyrie Irving. His name was Nate Archibald.
He
He
wouldn't
was
do
in the same
all, he
shit.
wasn't.
World be free, same shit. Okay, Walt
No,
Frazier,
not the
same.
same. That,
Now
that, that, that,
I'm
that,
not
that, that.
saying the handle. I'm not saying the handle. I'm saying the star power.
Nah, the star
And
power.
and
No,
and
I'm
and, and
not
let's be
judging the
clear.
star power.
And let's
I
be
just don't
clear.
think Kyrie would be allowed to do the things he does in the 70s. That's
Well, I
a lot of
mean,
dribbling. That's a lot of
no,
things they've
because the
never
coach
seen
wouldn't let
before.
him. The coach wouldn't let him
Exactly.
because the coach
Exactly.
wouldn't let him. Right. Right. And there's the
Exactly.
other thing. It wasn't a players' league back then. It
At
was a
all.
it was a coaches' league. Coaches had more authority than they do right now. They wouldn't allow that to happen.
100%.
No, they would not allow Giannis to bring the
Steph,
ball up.
let's say Steph couldn't do what the hell Steph is doing now in the 70s.
Well,
Imagine,
there was
imagine
the three
somebody
point.
pulling
Well,
from
the 3 point line wasn't back in the '70s either.
they hated Pistol Pete doing that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, that's true.
So
That's
imagine
true.
Steph coming
Yeah,
down. Now Steph is letting him fly and he hitting him, but uh, they hated Pistol Pete doing. They wouldn't let Steph do it for sure.
because they thought it was unconventional and
And
not
not
basketball.
yeah, not
That's not basketball.
sustainable.
Right. That's not basketball. I mean,
Hell,
shit,
another
Mr. P
one.
got exiled to New Orleans.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Because they didn't like his play style. New
that was
Orleans
the New
doesn't even
Orleans,
have a freaking basketball team anymore.
that was the New Orleans Jazz. Are you kidding me?
Yo. But no, that really just goes to show to prove your point. I agree with you. A lot of these people say, "Oh, he would do this back in the old era." A lot of these players wouldn't be allowed
No,
to do, and they didn't have models to look at to
no.
do the things. Like for example, we don't have a Wemby without KD.
Okay, that's true.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? We don't
That's true.
have we don't
We
have a LeBron without
without
Magic.
Magic Johnson. Without Magic Johnson, right? You are the carbon copy of Urban Magic Johnson. Kobe mimicked everything Magic
Jordan
Jordan
did.
did.
Yes, yes.
That was what he focused on. That was his playbook. That was his role model, his everything about it. And again, now you don't have that person. Now, this is interesting that we bring this up. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw something else on this. I was watching 520, and they was saying is Steph Curry the greatest point guard of all time.
Yes.
Jeff Teague made a good point.
What?
He said the way you um, measure greatest of all time is he a transcending player? Are kids out there now trying to be Steph Curry?
Yep.
Yes. That's all the fuck they're doing now. Is
Yep.
everybody's trying to hit a three right now. Before he came into the league, the 3 point game was what, maybe 6, 7 a game for the whole team?
Probably about 20.
You think it was that high?
Yeah, probably about 20. But to put it in perspective, people are shooting 60, 70, 80 now.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics are, yeah.
That's what
They launching them bad boys like they on sale, BOGO, buy one, get
oh
one free.
my
But
God. Don't get me
but
started.
I say that to say the thing what separates Steph Curry, and I know this is off topic from what we were saying earlier, but the thing I think that separates Steph Curry from everybody else, he makes that shit look so easy.
Easy.
He makes it look fun.
No,
Okay.
for real.
Really, when he's in his bag and he's doing his thing, fun and easy is hard to beat. And energy, you can't keep up with him.
One
He
of my
will wear
favorite
your
things
ass
about
down.
Steph Curry is, or one of my favorite things somebody's ever said about Steph Curry is he's the most relatable superstar in
He is.
NBA history.
He
You
is.
can see, like, you may not be able to do it, but you can see the
But you
stuff
can see,
Steph sees or
yeah,
does on court, watch a highlight tape, and then you can try and go and do it out in the driveway if you want to.
right.
I can't do what LeBron does.
No, because
Even
you're not
now
built
at
like that.
fucking 40, I
Well,
can't
you're not
do
built
what
like that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I'm not built
yeah.
like Giannis. I'm not built
Right,
like Joel Embiid. I don't got vision like Jokic. I'm not as athletic as Russell Westbrook.
right.
I don't got a handle like Steph, and I don't shoot like Steph, but I can at least go out there and try.
And
He
try to
looks
be
like
right.
me. He's
And he
six
looks like
three,
you.
right?
Yes,
He's 6'3",
yes,
a
yes.
smooth
He's the type of
200
dude that
pounds. He
you,
got strong ass back muscles,
yeah,
but he looks like me.
he looks like you. He's like you said, very relatable.
Most relatable superstar ever. You see the stuff he does on camera, and you think I could do that.
So who had the better game the other night?
Steph, because he won.
Because he won. That's stupid. But
Whew.
to Joker's defense,
61, 11, and 11 without his two best
to,
players is
to his defense, Russell
insane.
Westbrook fucked that game up.
Russ did blow that damn game.
That had nothing to
Which
do with
kills me
Joker.
because he was playing so
He
well
was.
that
He
game
was.
and he
But
blew it.
Trey, that's an 80 on points, rebounds, and assists on DraftKings.
Yeah,
That's
that's
80.
insane.
That's ridiculous.
60, was
61,
it 61, 11, and
61,
11?
and 11. That's
That's
83.
insane. Nah, I watched the whole game.
That I did too. And it was a good game. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole thing. I watched both of them.
Yeah, I
But
watched
I
the
didn't watch
Warriors and once that one finished,
yeah,
I turned on the Nuggets
The
game.
Warriors game I watched on a computer. It was amazing.
It was. I
It
have
was
League
amazing.
Pass.
Yeah. I like, oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I got League Pass. So
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. Well worth that game. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I got the
That was a
notification
good
on my
Tuesday. And
phone.
it was a lot of high scoring games that day too.
There was. That's the
Yeah, a lot of
first time. What
140
was it? I
games.
think that's the first time two former MVPs scored 50 on the same night. You know,
Same night.
one of them random
Yeah.
stats.
So OKC, will they hit 70? They'd
No.
have to win out. They have to win out.
They have to win out. No.
Yeah. They're 64 and 12.
Hold on, let me look real quick. Yeah, six
They
games.
won 11 in a row.
Yeah, but that means they have to try and win those last six games.
It's not. It makes no point to win 70 games if the record is 72.
That's why I don't
Yeah,
think they hit
you're not
70.
supposed to
I just don't
starters.
think they
Yeah,
care to hit 70.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Here we go. What are their last games? Their last games are
They got the Lakers twice.
they got Houston, Lakers, Phoenix, Utah, New Orleans. If they win those first three games, they could win out.
They could and
They
win
could
70
beat
games
Phoenix, Utah, and New Orleans with
with
their
no problem.
backups.
Yeah, with no problem.
So
With
I
no.
mean, it's on the board, but I don't think so.
Okay.
They'll probably
All right.
lose to the Lakers once because the Lakers have to win.
Yes, they do. They play Golden State tonight. I'm gonna watch
Yes, they
that.
do. Oh, I'm watching that. You
Yeah, I'm
already
gonna
know.
watch
All
that. Yeah,
right, I'm
I'm gonna
setting
watch
up. I'm trying to get this, and I'm
it.
gonna have my computer up and editing, my feet up,
Yeah.
kicked up, with the game up. You already know. All right, so let's move on to this last one. Usually we only do three, but there has been a lot of discussion recently on whether you can be a fan of the college you didn't attend. Since this is a special college edition of the show, we wanted to throw this in here as well. So, Dad, how you feel about that? Can you be can you be a fan of a college you didn't attend?
Yeah, why not?
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm born in New York.
Hello,
That's
hello.
what makes America great.
Real quick, like I'm just gonna rant real quick. What the hell makes
What difference
people
does it make,
think
right?
that they can gatekeep what fucking college I want to
Well,
be a fan of?
college is different though because it's more like a loyalty thing. Like if you attend Alabama, you really can't be a fan of Georgia Bulldogs.
That's fair. No, I'm
Yeah,
with that, but
you will definitely be crucified.
no, that's fair. I'm with the loyalty thing of it, and I agree with bandwagon being a
Okay,
bandwagon fan. But if you like, for example, I'm a Colorado fan, but I'm not a Colorado fan. I just like Dion.
okay.
I just like
You're
Dion.
not a Colorado fan. You're a Dion
Yeah,
fan.
I'm a Dion fan. So
Yeah.
will I get some Colorado merch for sure? Will I shout out Colorado for sure? Will I get as much Dion and Prime 12 and yeah,
Yeah.
110%. Did I want to get a freaking Travis Hunter jersey? Yes, I did. Did I want to get a Shador Sanders jersey? Yes, I did. But I like Dion. I'm a Duke fan in college. Hell, I even tried to go to the college when I was a kid. I applied and everything. Wasn't smart enough to go because those are fucking
Speaking of, and not to mention the money.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
too.
it's a
Surely
private
wasn't paying
school.
for
Yeah,
it.
because it's a private
Shout
school.
out to
Yeah,
grandma. Grandma
yeah,
took me to that. All right. Shout
yeah,
out to
yeah,
grandma. She was like,
yeah.
go ahead, baby. You go on. Knowing damn well her and mom was not finna pay for that shit. But they
Speaking of Shador Sanders, rumor has it he's about to slide.
I saw that. Well, it makes sense when you look at it.
Yeah, all the moves that's been made.
If he don't go to Cleveland or New York, where does he go?
Jets.
Jets? How far down are
Jets.
the Jets?
7.
Seven? Nah.
Who's in front of them? New Orleans, the Patriots. Patriots are 4, right?
Patriots are
Four.
Titans. Yeah, 4.
They're four. They're not going to draft the
They
quarterback.
take
They got.
Travis.
I think Travis is going to the Giants. He's going to be one or two. He's going to be two or three. Either Cleveland's going to take him or the Giants going to take him.
Cleveland would be crazy to not take Shador.
I don't know about that. There's something that the scouts are, and I'm gonna tell you why I think he's going to slide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Raiders, where everybody had him going to the Raiders, Tom Brady mentored him, blah blah blah. They just signed Geno to an extension today.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought he was going to Oakland or he was going to Vegas
yeah.
off of the
Not
Brady
saying that they
thing.
won't. Not saying that they still won't draft him and let him sit behind Geno for 2 years, but it's just odd. It's odd. Two things.
Not for
One, that
two
they
years.
traded for Geno.
The trade is
The
what killed
trade
it
for
for
Geno.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, the trade
yeah,
is what killed it for me.
yeah. And then you sign him to an extension, which means you want him to be your number one.
At least for the next 2 years, even though he got
Yeah,
a 2-year extension, but you definitely want him to be either this year and next year.
right. So I think if the Jets don't take him, shit, he could slide all the way to Pittsburgh.
That's all the way in 20. You think,
20.
hold on, nah. I don't think he'd slide that far. Hold on, let me look. Let me look. You know
That'd be
why
a
I don't
big
think he slide
slide.
that far?
Why? Because who needs a quarterback? Not Tennessee,
No,
not Carolina.
no, 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 no,
Who?
no, 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 no. Dad,
I
Dad,
said the Jets.
Dad. We're Cowboys fans.
Cowboys ain't gonna take him.
Whether or not we need him, that's not the argument I'm making. You and I both know Shador Sanders drafted to the Cowboys is
It's
noise.
box office. It's
Is
box office.
noise.
But here's the problem with that. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you why the Cowboys wouldn't draft him.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get out of the Dak Prescott business for the next 4 years. And they just traded for Joe Milton.
I don't think the Joe Milton thing would stop the Shador.
I do because of the simple fact at that pick, you can fill a lot of holes that you need right now.
Yeah, but we've had that. We've been able to do that before, and we've
Yeah,
still taken box office.
I don't think the Cowboys. If
Like,
anything,
for example,
I think the
Micah
Cowboys
Parsons.
trade.
We didn't need Micah Parsons when we
No,
drafted
but
him.
I don't know. We haven't had a. Now remember, Michael Parsons is a linebacker. He wasn't a
Exactly. We
defensive. He
drafted him.
made him to be right,
Exactly. That's why I said that. We
right,
drafted him to be a linebacker. We already
right.
had 3 when we drafted him.
But they were on their way out. What's his name? Vandershot's neck was always messed up.
They weren't on their way out then. Micah being good is what forced it to me.
I don't know. I think he was already injury prone.
To me, he was for
Sean
sure,
Lee
but
was
we
injury
had
prone.
just signed him. We had just signed him
What's
to
his
an extension
name?
a year before.
That kid, who I can't think of his name. He wore 54. We drafted him
Jalen,
number one. Who?
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, trash from Notre Dame, trash. And he got hurt. We drafted him in the second round. He was
He was
already hurt
good until we paid him.
until we paid him. Yep. Like everybody else.
Like everybody.
Like everybody else. Once they get the dough, it's do re mi.
Once they get the dough, they hit the dough. I'm trademarking that.
That's funny.
I'm trademarking that one.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm telling you, man. If he slides, man, if the Jets don't take him, because they
Let
already
me
saying
look.
if they take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, the Giants will take whichever one Cleveland does not take.
Why wouldn't Indianapolis try take a flyer on him?
They just signed Daniel Jones.
The fuck does that mean?
That means they already got Daniel Jones and that kid Anthony Richardson.
What does
Dude, all I'm saying is it's out there that something about Shador Sanders is not
I
worth
would agree with
that high.
that.
What it is, I don't know.
I don't know either. I would agree with that too. If there is a reason why there is all this buzz that Cam Ward is a surefire lock number one
Lock
pick,
at number one. Lock.
and then we hear nothing else about any other quarterback really.
Right.
So I think there's definitely a reason for that. I agree with you there. Scouts are talking or have been talking since the end of the season or from the combine up to here. Maybe it's his bravado. Maybe they saw something on tape. Who
But
knows?
what's interesting is that the fear all along was that whoever drafted him Dion had to come along
They got
with
to
him.
deal with Dion.
Yeah, he just signed an extension, so
I
that's out the
see. I
window.
said that.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Dion ain't coming with him.
No, he's not. He's not. He's not.
Ben
So
said that. Dion is not coming with Shador. At some point, Dion is a grown ass man. At some point,
what you're doing?
you got to let your damn kids fly. If anybody understands that, Dion understand. Of course, Dion gonna be around. He's vocal. He's Dion God daggone Sanders. We know Dion Sanders, but he's not gonna sit there and be a burden or sit there and be a helicopter
Dictate.
parent over
Yeah. Yeah.
Shador's life.
Dictate his, yeah, his life.
Exactly,
Yeah.
nigga, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah.
You need me, call me.
It's time to let the bird fly.
Yeah,
It's,
figure it out, homie. You need me, call me. You know what it
I think
should
he's
look
going.
like.
When
You
is
know what you're doing. You know you're prepared for this. This is what I prepared you for. So have at it.
his pro day?
You said when's his pro day?
Yeah, when is his
You know,
pro
I
day?
would love to know because if I can get a peek at that, I will. Let's see,
I
Colorado.
know he hasn't had it yet.
No, they haven't. I would have seen something about it. Pro day. Here we go.
And the
2025.
draft's only 3 weeks away.
End of April, right?
End of April.
Here we go. Okay, pro date set would be on the April 4th, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
All 32 teams will be in attendance. This will be for Shador and, of course, Travis Hunter.
Okay. Now we'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. You'll definitely get some Jimmy Horn. I like Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn can play.
So do I. Jimmy
Yeah,
Horn
I
Jr.
like
Yeah.
Jimmy Horn Jr. I like him. You'll
He's a
see
good third
some
round
Jimmy
pick.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Hell, honestly, we could use Jimmy Horn.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we could use another receiver for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
If we draft it, if Ashon Genty's gone, we should go receiver.
who you
Or
think we should take, Dad? You talking about we do have a lot of holes. You know, I've been on that for a minute, but we're at
honestly, I think
12. Who do we
they
take?
should take that kid out of Texas, the wide receiver out of Texas.
You think the wide receiver out of Texas?
Yeah, Golden.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about the wide receiver out of Arizona.
I think
Was
he's
that
gonna be
McLean?
gone. Yeah, I think he's gonna be gone. T-Tac, T-Tac.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him.
I think he's gonna be gone.
So yeah, that's fair.
Golden is a speedster. He knows how to run routes real good. Yeah.
But it looks like we're on the same page. We need a
Yeah,
receiver.
we need a receiver. We need a receiver.
I
We
would
haven't
agree.
picked one up in a trade or anything like that. So let's draft one and see what happens.
No, I would agree. We're on the same page. We probably need. I mean, we need hell. We
We need a lot.
probably. I don't know if we are we gonna. I don't know if we're gonna pay Micah, so we may need a replacement for Micah, but that's down the
I
line.
really think they should trade his ass.
We agreed. We need
Yeah.
some more offensive line help.
We need some more picks.
Some picks with real quick. You saw that what was it? That report that the Patriots and Dallas were talking about doing a trade. No,
For
Cleveland and Dallas were talking about doing a trade
first
for
of all,
based
first of
around Dak.
first of all, he has a no trade clause.
Okay.
Second of all, the cap hit on Dallas would bury us. Okay, it would bury us for the next 3 to 4 years because we still got to carry that money.
Not unless we draft a quarterback.
We still got to pay another quarterback.
I mean, yeah, fine.
It would still mess up our cap.
Honestly, you you know what my thought about it was?
What?
So Cleveland
anyway.
gonna pay $250 million quarterbacks.
Thank you. Thank you. You paid $100 million a year for 2 quarterbacks?
Then one is not even in the building.
And you think Dakota Prescott is going to leave the fucking Dallas Cowboys to play for the Cleveland Browns after he got paid by the Dallas Cowboys? He's not a free agent. It's different if he was a free agent and he was using Cleveland as leverage. You don't have to do that. I can see them coming in and say, "Hey, we're about to trade you." No, you're not.
That no trade clause is crazy.
No trade. Hey, this discussion is over with. I'm going back home. Don't call me no.
Hang up the phone.
Thank you. It's not even a conversation.
Damn.
They can't trade him.
If y'all are not clear, I'm trying to get rid of Dak Prescott. Any possible fucking way I can.
That's my dog, man. I think he's gonna have a comeback season if we get the right weapons for him. I think he'll be fine.
I think we're gonna win 10 games.
10? You think it'll be 10-7?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the schedule look like, but off the top of my head,
11-6.
Say 10-7, 11-6, wild card, loss.
Second in our division.
Second?
Second.
I don't know.
I think Washington is going to go back to Washington. Watch what I tell you.
I don't know.
Hey, people, you know how the NFL, you know what the NFL stands for. Not
for long. Not for long.
You. And people start figuring your shit out.
They do. I mean, we saw what happened to CJ Stroud this year. Granted, that had a lot to do with the lack of offensive line.
And
Stephon Diggs, they get hurt. Hell, and Tank Dell got hurt. He lost all his receivers and his O line.
Yeah.
So you know what? We gonna throw CJ Stroud out the window on that one. Maybe his is a lost cause. His don't count.
But I still think my Cowboys is gonna have a bounce back season. Especially if Jerry would pull the trigger and trade Mike and get some picks.
Uh,
Let
uh,
somebody else pay that $200 million.
that's how I feel.
Yeah,
That's
if that's what
honestly
he
how
wants,
I
if
feel.
that's what he wants, hey,
Once I see
deuces.
Jamar get paid, I'm like, shit.
Thank you. It's time to let that go, man. I'm not saying you can find another edge rusher like that, but you can get a group of edge rushers and a
Right. It
scheme and a scheme.
exactly.
Thank you. And a
We
scheme
already paying Dak 60. We're
and
already
CD.
paying CD 35.
Yeah. You want to pay him
You
another
want to
50,
pay him another
40, 40,
50?
40 is it 40, right? 5 years,
Hold on.
200. That's what you want.
Is that well, so is that what's reported? 5 years, 200?
5 years, 5 years, 200 or 4 years, 200.
Okay, we'll call it 40. So 60, 40, 35. That's
$135 million.
135 million towards your cap. Do you
Yo, you see
want to
that
do
kid? You
that?
see that kid from who just became the highest paid cornerback?
Quarterback?
Corner.
Derek Stinley?
Stingley, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what was it? He
His
got three
contract,
year, 99
90,
million, and 98 of it is guaranteed or some shit.
90 with 89 guaranteed.
Yeah, 90 with
That's damn
89
near
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Fully
that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me tell you, man, Deshaun
guaranteed.
Watson really fucked it up for a lot of people, man.
Well, I don't think I'm not gonna say he fucked it up. I think he improved it. I think it's time for NFL players get guaranteed like that.
I would agree, but
Yeah, why
Deshaun
not?
Watson being the like it was one thing when it was Kirk Cousins, right?
Right. You said, but Deshaun Watson being the face of that
He made it so bad. First of all, he got the fully guaranteed contract off
230.
of not playing, being injured, and being in a fucking investigation. And
Sexual
then on
offense.
top of that, he never performed
Never played.
to that
Nope.
contract. So you know good and well them owners are thinking, not gonna have another Deshaun Watson in here. Nope.
I just think that's one of one, man. Shit, Dak Prescott's contract is almost fully guaranteed.
I promise you, we'll see a lot of almost fully guaranteed. Eventually,
Yeah,
we'll get back there. I do think we will because we said we never would get there, and fucking Kirk Cousins of all people got the first one. Um, so we'll get there eventually, but they have a sour taste in their mouth after Deshaun
they
Watson.
do.
Hell,
I
we
mean, look at
all
the
have
owner
a
of Cleveland
sour
said that
taste
was
in our
that was
mouth
the worst
after
trade they ever
Deshaun
made.
Watson.
Yeah, when the owner comes out and said that's the worst trade I ever made.
Exactly. You know
That's
they
just
talking
coming.
about that shit in the owner meeting, Dad. You
Yeah,
know they talking about. You know Jimmy
yeah,
Haslam is the butt of every fucking joke
yeah,
in
yeah.
owners meetings, and all them owners are thinking to themselves, "Won't be
You
me.
dumbass. It
Won't
won't
be
be me.
me. Won't be me." Hey, did you see what he did? That's what now I promise you they're all having that conversation. They will
Oh
all
man.
look, I'll give you as close to fully guaranteed as possible, but just for their own safety or own
Right.
peace of
A
mind.
million of it won't be
Right.
guaranteed. Yeah.
Literally for their
Right.
own peace of mind so they can
Right.
say
It
it
won't all
wasn't
be
fully
fully
guaranteed.
guaranteed. Yeah. The media will not announce that you got a fully guaranteed.
Exactly. Exactly. You know how it goes. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of Agree to Disagree. Thank y'all for joining us. Smash that subscribe button. Go on and subscribe to all the socials. We on Instagram and TikTok, you know. Appreciate the continued support. Thank you. Let us know anything y'all want to see in the future. Other than that, Dad, you got anything?
No, but again, thanks for the views. I've been looking at them. Certain episodes have been better than others. Thank you. And yeah, let's keep it going, man.
Yeah,
Let's
but
keep
we appreciate. We only on episode 9.
nine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we on
Yeah.
episode 9, so I think it's kind of cool. I think our last episode with Andre got like 12 views in a week or some shit like that.
Something like that. Yeah. One of them had like 134. I'm like,
The
oh
Aaron
shit.
Rodgers one.
Yes. That's
The
pretty good. That's pretty
freaking
good.
Aaron Rodgers one. So again, we super duper appreciate it. We just our father and
Comment,
son
comment,
bullshitting.
comment. Yeah,
Yes.
comment,
Comment,
comment.
comment,
You're not
comment.
going to hurt our feelings. Comment.
No, you're not.
Yeah, comment.
And if
Yeah,
you do, you won't know.
you won't know. You won't know.
Otherwise, thank you for joining us. Love you, Dad.
Love you too, man. Peace.
Later.